All right, hey guys, so right now we are going to go through how do we solve logarithmic equations where we have 1 log is equal to 1 log. All right, so if we have an equation like number 1 where we have log base 3 of 2n equals log base 3 of 28, since you have log base 3, one of them on each side, what we can do is we can cancel out the logs on each side and say, well then, since log base 3 of 2n equals log base 3 of 28, then 2n has to equal 28 as well. And then divide by 2, so we get n equals 14. And then we just check to plug it back in. 2 times 14 is 28, so that will work. The only thing that won't work is if we get log of a negative number. You can't take the log of a negative number. So, all right, for number 2, we've got log base 9 of 22 equals log base 9 of 2p minus 2. So we can cancel out the 1 log and 1 log from each side, and we get 22 equals 2p minus 2. And now we're going to solve for p, so we're going to add 2. So we get 24 is equal to 2p, and then we divide by 2, so we get p is equal to 12. And then if I were to plug that back in, 2 times 12 is 24 minus 2, that's 22. So that works. All right, next one, we've got log base 9 of negative 4b minus 7 equals log base 9 of 29. So we've got 1 log on this side and 1 log on that side. We can cancel those logs out, and we get negative 4b minus 7 equals 29. And then I'm going to add 7 to solve for b. So I get negative 4b equals 36, and I'm going to divide by negative 4. So I get b equals negative 9, and I check just when I plug it back in. A negative 4 times a negative 9 is a positive 36 minus 7. That'll be a positive number, so it's okay. So b equals negative 9 works. All right, number 4, we have log. When there's no base shown, it's base 10. Log base 10 of x plus 4 equals log base 10 of negative 4x plus 10. So we can cancel out the 1 log and the 1 log. So we've got x plus 4 is equal to negative 4x plus 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring all my x's to one side. So I'm going to add 4x. So I get 5x plus 4 is equal to 10. And then I'm going to subtract 4 to solve for x. And I get 5x is equal to 6. I divide by 5. And I get x equals 6 over 5. Okay, so we've got our fraction. I'm just going to write it as 6 over 5 like that. Doesn't really matter, I'm just being particular. And then when we plug it back in, 6 over 5 plus 4, that's going to be a positive number, so that works. All right, on to the last 4 of these. So we've got log base 18 of x squared plus 8 equals log base 18 of 11x minus 2. So we can cancel out the log from each side, and we get x squared plus 8 equals 11x minus 2. Ooh, we've got a quadratic equation. What makes it quadratic, guys, just a reminder, is that squared. That's what makes it quadratic. So if we've got that squared, the way that we approach quadratic equations is we bring everything to one side so that it equals 0. So I'm going to bring this 2 over, and I'm going to bring this 11x over. So it's going to be x squared. The minus 11x goes next when we put it in standard form, remember, and then 8 plus 2 is positive 10 equals, and then those cancel, 0. So now we want to factor. So I'm looking for my factors of 10 that are going to add to give me 11. So that's 10 and 1. I want it to be negative 11. So negative 10 and negative 1. X, X. So now when we solve, we set each one equal to 0. X equals positive 10. X equals positive 1. So positive 10 squared is 100 plus 8. 10 works. And then let's see if 1 works. 1 squared, that's 1 plus 9, that's positive. So that works. So we've got 2 answers for this, 10 and 1. All right, for the next one, we're going to do the same thing. We've got log base 7 equals log base 7, so I can cancel out the 1 log from each side. So I've got p squared plus 9p equals 30 plus 2p. Again, we have a quadratic equation. So what we do with quadratic, we want to bring them all to one side and have it equal 0. So I'm going to minus 2p. And then I'm going to minus the 30 to the other side. So I've got p squared, and 9p minus 2p is positive 7p. And then the minus 30 equals, this cancels, 0. So now we say, what are my factors of 30 that are going to minus to give me 7? So 10 and 3, subtract to give me 7, plus 10 minus 3 will give me positive 7. Oh, instead of an x, it's a p, because this p is our variable. So when we set each one equal to 0, we get p equals negative 10 and p equals 3. Let's see if they both work. All right, so plugging in negative 10 squared is 100, plus 9 times negative 10, that's negative 90, but that still gives me a positive number. Then I plug in 3 squared is 9, 9 plus 9 times 3 is 27, that's going to be a positive number. So we get our 2 answers, are negative 10 and positive 3. All right, last 2, guys. So we've got log base 10. Remember, if you don't see that base, it's 10. And 7p plus 2 equals log base 10 of p squared plus 2. So we're going to cancel the 1 log and the 1 log from each side and say 7p plus 2 equals p squared plus 2. All right, so now it's quadratic. So what we want to do is bring all the variables and things to one side. So I'm going to minus 7p and bring it over here. So we get p squared minus 7p plus 2, and the minus 2 is going to equal 0, equals, this one cancels, 0. All right, now me personally, I just like to rewrite it, so I'm going to just move this equals 0 over to the right-hand side, just because of setup purposes. It doesn't matter where you put the equal 0. I just like to always have it on the right-hand side. Okay, so now, there's no last number. So we look and we say, what do they have in common that I could factor out? Well, they both have a p in common, p minus 7. And then we set each one equal to 0, so p equals 0 and p equals positive 7. Let's see if it works. 0, that's going to be 7 times 0 is 0 plus 2, that's a positive number, so 0 works. 7 times 7, that's 49 plus 2, that's going to be a positive number. Those are my 2 answers. All right, for 8, same idea. We've got log base 16 on both sides, so we can cancel out 1 log base 16 on both sides. So we get 20 minus 2x equals x squared minus 3x. Now, once again, I'm going to bring all of my terms to one side, and I'm going to write it in standard form. All right, so this cancels, so we're going to get x squared. A positive 2x and a negative 3x is negative 1x. You can either write it like that or you can put the 1 there. It doesn't matter. Minus 20 equals 0. And now we say, what are my factors of 20 that are going to minus to give me 1? 5 and 4. Minus 5 plus 4 will give me negative 1. So my answers are going to be positive 5 and negative 4. Let's see if they both work. Plugging in positive 5. 20 minus 2 times 5 is 10. That works. Plugging in negative 4. 20 minus 2 times negative 4, that's negative 8. 20 minus a negative 8 becomes plus positive. That works. So we've got those two answers for that one. All right, guys, so that is it for solving where one log equals one log. Go ahead and try that edge elastic now.